James Earl Jones, who we lost at the good old age of 93. Now, I'll say this one definitely hit because James Earl Jones is an icon. James Earl Jones has appeared in a lot of movies that I love. Of course, we know him from as Darth Vader, the voice. He wasn't the physical being, but he did the voice. That voice will always and forever be iconic. He also appeared in the first Conan movie, Conan the Barbarian. I love that film and that iconic headless scene that he wound up getting at the end. Because, Arnold Schwarzenegger cut his head off with a sword. Look, it's an old ass movie. If y'all see that damn movie right now, I don't know what to tell you. And then, of course, he was the voice of Mufasa. He's the king of Zamunda. He's premiered in King Lear. He's done a lot of, stage and cinema. So James Earl Jones had a long career and he's had a long life and he lived a good long life. So, we got to give the man his flowers. So he is definitely one of the good ones. Like, I think for many generations, I don't know about Gen Z, but I know for many generations, James Earl Jones was that dude. So, according to Variety, it says after overcoming a profound stutter as a child, Jones established himself as one of the pioneering Black actors of his generation, amassing a bountiful, I wanted to say that like a West Indian, a bountiful and versatile career. Let me get serious, spanning over 6 decades. From his debut in Broadway in 1958 at the Court Theater, renamed the James Earl Jones Theater in 2022, to his most recent performance in 2021's Coming to America. For that film, that's with a number 2, actually. Jones reprised his role as King Jaffe Jaffer from the 1988 Eddie Murphy comedy Coming to America, one of several roles along with Darth Vader that Jones revisited, including the voice of King Mufasa in Disney's animated feature The Lion King in 1994, the 1998 direct-to-video sequel, and the 2019 remake, and CIA operative director Vice Admiral James Greer in 3 Jack Ryan movies, 1990's The Hunt for Red October, 1992's Patriot Games, and 1994's Clear and Present Danger. And if y'all haven't seen those damn movies, you definitely need to check them out because I'm a Jack Ryan fan. I definitely like a lot of the movies that he did. So, Jones was nominated for 4 Tony Awards and won 2 in 1969 for playing boxer Jack Johnson in The Great White Hope, which he reprised on film in 1970, receiving his only Oscar nomination, and in 1987 for originating the role of Troy Maxson in August Wilson's Pulitzer Prize-winning drama Fences. I believe also Denzel Washington wound up playing that same role on Broadway alongside Viola Davis, another icon. Now, he was nominated for 8 Primetime Emmy Awards, winning twice in 1991 for supporting actor in the miniseries Heat Wave about the 1965 Watts riots, and for lead actor in the drama series Gabriel's Fire about a wrongfully imprisoned ex-cop who becomes a private detective. It was the first time an actor won 2 Emmys in the same year. Now, Jones earned a Kennedy Center honor in 2002, the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award in 2009, an honorary Oscar in 2011, and a Lifetime Achievement Tony Award in 2017. You know what? As much as I love all of this, I'm about sick of y'all like overlooking people for actual Oscars and giving honorary Oscars. Stop honorary giving people stuff and give Oscars to the people who really deserve it. Because I did it to Angela Bassett too. But anyway, let's get back to the show. His Grammy Award in 1977 for spoken word album makes Jones the only one a handful of actors to receive an EGOT. Excuse me. Jones' looming, ultimately affable presence and rich-speaking voice made him a natural for Shakespeare, and he played some of the great roles, such as Macbeth and Othello, for Joseph Papp's American Shakespeare Festival. Jones narrated several documentaries from 1972's Malcolm X to 2007's Disney nature doc Earth, and famously he intoned the tagline, "This is CNN" for cable news channel. So, he does have one of those booming voices where, you hear a voice, you hear a specific, diction of voice, whatever the case, you already know when it's James Earl Jones coming on the line. Now, they say, as for his most famous role, Jones was paid $7,000 to lend his voice to Darth Vader. Yes, $7,000. You heard me right. In 1977, Star Wars: A New Hope, but he declined screen credit for that film and its sequel, 1980's The Empire Strikes Back, out of deference to the actor who played the role on screen, David Prowse. Well, you know what? That was honorable of him. The fact that he's like, you know what? I'm only the voice. I'm not actually playing the physical Darth Vader. It's just my voice that you're using, which will forever be iconically associated with Darth Vader. But it's like, I'll take the $7,000, but I don't want a screen credit because I'm not basically acting. You're just hearing me reading lines, and I'm just giving it, that gravitas as I'm saying the words in the Star Wars films. So it says, David was this by 1983's Return of the Jedi. However, Jones had become fully synonymous with one of the most memorable and terrifying villains in cinema history and received credit for his work. He returned to Vader's voice once again for 2005's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and 2016's Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. But for the 2022 Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jones instead authorized Lucasfilm to use archival recordings and AI technology to recreate Vader's voice. So this also got me wondering, would they actually do that in the future? Like, would they actually, like, now that he's no longer with us, would they actually use AI because he gave them permission the first time? Will they continue to do that per more Star Wars films and things of that nature comes down the pipeline? But I feel like at this point, Lucasfilm needs to come and just explore that full Star Wars universe and create stories within that world and stop giving us the same Darth Vader, Skywalker, the Emperor, like that whole stuff. That story's been worn out. It's done to death. We don't need to be familiarized with that. You can do stuff with the Siths and the Empire and all that other stuff. You can play in that whole world. We don't need no more Luke and Leia stories. We don't need more Darth Vader. So at this point, with James Earl Jones being gone, we need to put Darth Vader to rest. Come up with a new Darth Cuckoo or somebody. I don't know. Just come up with a whole new Darth character. And like we had Darth Maul, we have Darth Vader. There could be, someone with that name, but just come up with a new character and pass that on. It don't always have to be the same because I think in Hollywood is all about familiarity right now. So we don't need that whole situation. We just need something different. So I'm hoping that's what they do with the whole Star Wars thing. So that's why I was like I didn't want to go too far off on a tangent about that whole thing with Star Wars, but since James Earl Jones is synonymous with that, with being a part of the Star Wars franchise, I do feel like at this point, leave Darth Vader alone. We don't need no more Darth Vader stories. But I should say that James Earl Jones, for those who don't know, was born in 1931 on a farm in Arca Butler, Mississippi. His father, Robert Earl Jones, left home soon after to pursue his own acting career. The two more or less reconciled when younger Jones was in his 20s, and they even performed together. When Jones was 5, he moved with his maternal grandparents in Michigan. Wait, hold on. Isn't somebody that's related to James Earl Jones in Sleepaway Camp? Is that his father? I was trying to remember that because I do remember that. I do believe that James Earl Jones' father is in the original Sleepaway Camp. And so this as an undergraduate student at the University of Michigan, Jones initially set out to study medicine, but wound up more interested in drama. Well, medicine is kind of dramatic. It said his first stage role was a small part in the 1957 off-Broadway production Wedding in Japan. He took side projects to supplement occasional theater work in Broadway's Sunrise at Campobello, The Cool World, and The Pretender. He also worked in Summer Stock. Now, in 1960, Jones joined Pabst's New York Shakespeare Festival. The following year, he made his first serious impact in a landmark off-Broadway production of Jean Genet's The Blacks as protagonist Deodatus. Afterwards, for Pab, he played Oberyn in A Midsummer's Night's Dream, the first of many heralded Shakespearean turns. His masterful 1964 performance as Othello for Pat was moved off Broadway, where the production ran for almost a year. So his first big break came when he did The Merchant of Venice, in which he played the Prince of Morocco to George C. Scott's Shylock. When Stanley Kubrick came to see Scott, whom he was considering for one of the leads in Dr. Strangelove, the film director was so impressed that he cast Jones in the film as well. In 1966, Jones had the title role of Macbeth as the New York Shakespeare Festival, again to great acclaim. He also booked a recurring role in As the World Turns in 1966, marking the first time a Black actor had a continuing role on a daytime soap. So, he's appeared in a ton of movies. The list goes on and on and on. If y'all definitely want to read more of that. You could definitely head over, like Variety did an article on this whole situation. So he also was married to actress singer Julianne Marie. His second wife of 34 years, actress Cecilia Hart, died in 2016. Now he has a son by the name of Flynn Earl Jones. And yeah, so I will say James Earl Jones will definitely be missed. He is someone who is a prominent staple within the acting world. He is like one of the most prominent actors. You know, everybody always wants to talk about Denzel and the same five black actors, but James Earl Jones is always like, up there with Sidney Poitier and all of those icons. I'll even say Mario Van Peebles, who we don't hear enough about him. I know he did come out with a country, what was it, a western that Whoopi Goldberg was a part of, and I don't think it did all that well at the box office. But yeah, he's been doing his little thing here and there. But I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Like I said, James Earl Jones will forever be an icon. Like you can't even flip a channel without a movie that he was in is on, because he's been in like a gazillion damn movies, which is nothing to sneeze at. Like who wouldn't want to have that type of career? A long lasting career at that, like 6 decades making films. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.